Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No.
You did, though.
Yeah.
And we're live.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is the special meeting of the Redevelopment Commission for the purpose of opening some bids for some landscaping services. Nina, would you please call the roll?
Lynn.
Mr. Lack.
Lynn,
Mr. Lack.
Here.
Mr. Zilli.
Here.
Mr. Feckety.
Here.
Mr. Munt.
Here.
Mayor Lynch,
Here.
Dr. Finley,
Here.
So, Sandy, are you there to open the bids and give us the quote numbers?
I sure am.
Okay, then I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, our first quote is from Allen Snow Removal and Lawn Care. They have provided us with a quote for $7,900. In their quote, they have also included a list of the plants that they are planning on installing in the medians. Our second quote is from Lakeshore Landscaping Incorporated, and their quote is in the amount of $46,712.76. They have also provided
Sandy, did
a
I get that
list
amount right? 46,712?
and 76 cents. That is correct.
The last one was 7,900?
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
The reason why there's such a big difference is, my assumption is the list of plantings that they're proposing on installing. And like I was saying, Lakeshore Landscaping has also provided a list of what they're proposing to install.
Is Dan on board here?
I'm right here.
Dan, do we need to take these under advisement, or what is your suggestion here?
So you can, I mean, if you have questions about them and want to review them, you could certainly take them under advisement. If you want to, if you're clear that we're comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, and that one of the bids is the highest and best, then you could simply award it. Subject to my review, of course.
Okay, so Sandy, what is the major difference in those plantings?
My assumption is that it's just the different kinds of plantings that they're proposing.
Dan, you have to mute,
Yeah, you
please,
need to mute.
because that's an extreme difference of almost $40,000, 38,900 something.
Yeah, I think it's best to take these under advisement, look at them further, and see exactly what the difference is. If they were a little bit off, I would be okay awarding it, but this is a pretty significant amount, so.
Well, I think what I would like to see is, because we would like to get these plantings going, because it's getting late, and if we're going to do plantings, so I would like to maybe.
Can we clarify, where exactly is this for? This is for just RDC property, correct?
This is for the Chrisman Road medians that were installed last year under our paving project. It includes the boxed planter and 2 medians south of Route 20.
Okay. What was planted there? Do we know what was planted there already? I know there's some stuff in there.
Yes, there were things that were planted. From what I was told, it was what we've already seen come up as far as the spring and early summer colors that came up. So there were tulips and things like that. Last year, our previous landscaper wasn't able to get all of the plants in because of the weather change, and so we were looking at installing things that would provide color to the medians for the late summer and the fall. And our contractors, our proposed contractors here, provided us with a list of their proposal and what they're planning on putting in.
And just to be clarify here, so we asked for them to tell us what they think is best there. We aren't experts on what should be planted, right?
Correct. Not only was it late summer, fall color, it was a one-time maintenance. So to go out there, clean up the existing weeds, remove them, and to actually turn over the existing mulch since it was recently laid last fall, and install the plantings.
Yeah, these are so far apart. I think we need to look into these further, but I also think that has already cost what, over $140,000 just to build these planter boxes. It's insane to me that now we have to spend this amount of money to maintain them every year. It's not a good use of money to begin with, but here we are.
Well, as far as maintenance goes, we won't have to be planting anything else. So once this plant installation is done, it will just be a maintenance item. So we will be pulling weeds and replacing mulch every so often.
When you say we will be pulling weeds, who is we?
Whomever the RDC deems fit.
So it would not be the landscaper.
No, the within this quote
It's
was
one-time
a request
maintenance.
to go out there, pull out all of the existing weeds, install their plantings, and walk away.
So does it include,
this-
Sandy, putting something like preen in there to prevent, you know, a lot of weed growth in there?
No, it does not.
And Mayor, you might be able to answer this. We might need to ask somebody else. Do we have anybody in the city that plants elsewhere? I mean, do we contract out all of our landscaping in the city, or is there somebody else that does it in the city?
To my knowledge, I don't know anybody else other than the departments.
That's
And
what
they're
I'm saying.
basically doing mowing. If you notice the police and fire station, that was a donation by the Exchange Club. The corners on Vivian and Central, the four corners there that are always planted are not planted this year. And I don't know about the hanging baskets over at Holiday Properties in the promenade. So this only is for that giant square planter and the two medians. And that's all it's for.
I mean, I'm not saying that we don't need to be planting flowers. I mean, it does make the city look nice, especially in downtown, our main streets. Now we have this massive limestone planter. We can't just leave it dirt. I just think the amount of money that we've already spent on this, and this budget's already strapped for cash for the year. I'm not sure that this is the best plan going forward. I'm fine taking these under advisement for now and looking at them deeper. Obviously, we haven't seen them. They were sealed in envelopes. So I would think we should take this under advisement.
And
Right, this is Greg. I'd like to interject here for a moment.
thank you, Greg.
In this quote, we would be doing the same thing we have done as far as spending money to plant plants and walking away. It would leave it upon us to maintain it, to weed it, so on and so forth. In the past number of years, we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on landscaping out at the open air pavilion, in and around NERPC building, the Ameriplex over in that spot. And to date, we have not maintained that. So have basically losing our hundreds of thousands of dollars in investment in there. In the past, RDC has had a contract with a landscaper last year, approximately $150,000 to weed, maintain, beautify the spot. And I think in my mind, I think it's important to protect our investment, especially around the NERPC building. If that's our face for Northwest Indiana. When people drive there, that they see that as portage. Furthermore, just by mowing it, it's going to, again, take away all the plants that we put in there. I think we have to have a little bit more comprehensive look at it, investigate it. I'm not advocating for, another contract of $150,000 or so, but I think we can look at it and see if there's a plan that we can put in place that will maintain it, beautify it, and go forward that route.
Well, I think the one thing was to get the planter, sadly, because it's there and it was voted to put in there and now we're stuck with it, planted so it doesn't become an eyesore. But I do think, Greg, you're absolutely right. As I indicated to you in the email, I don't want the city not looking good. I don't know how, if we would enter into another contract for other types of plantings or maintenance, and then maybe move forward with this one whenever we deem that happens, and then maybe look at additional contracts. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, like I'm on board with Colin that I drive by that median every day I come in town, and for the life of me, I don't see adding more plants to it. I think a simple weeding and a turning of the mulch would be more than satisfactory at this point in time. Adding additional plants just adds more maintenance, and let's see what happens in the coming year. I think taking that approach, as well as getting with one of the landscape companies and investigating, all right, what do we have? What are our assets? What is a minimal maintenance plan that we can put in place and see what that dollar figure may come back with. And then at that point in time, we can have a discussion on what's best for the city going forward.
Yeah, I think, and Greg, just going off of that, and we saw this 2 meetings ago, maybe last meeting, where we're getting invoices for small areas that are $2,800 for an intersection. And I mean, those small invoices are just going to keep adding up if we keep doing this ad hoc. And I'm not opposed to the idea of having one larger contract. I mean, it's going to be a cost. It's either going to be a cost that the city bears from employees and going out and buying plants ourselves and planting them, or it's going to be a cost that we contract out. I mean, the RDC, there is a budget for this. I just think, I'm not sure that planter right now is warranting more flowers at the moment and more plants.
Andy, in their quote, did they have broken out the new plants as a line item cost?
There is not a line item per proposed plant. It is a lump sum contract, and a list of plants is provided.
Can we call for that? I think that's what we need on both of them. Since there's such a great difference between the two of them, I surely want to know what the guy for 7,900 is going to do for us, and what the guy for 46,000. He may be doing much more than I don't like just numbers. I like a complete breakdown on exactly what you're doing for me, and that's what it's going to cost me. Okay, and right now I don't know really who's doing what for us, other than the numbers are so greatly different that you got to be concerned about it.
Sandy, can you possibly, I don't know if you're in the office today, but can you scan these and send them along to the commission so we can see what plants they're proposing? I mean, that's...
Yes, I plan on doing that. Unfortunately, I don't have everybody's email addresses, so I can send it to the mayor, Lynn, Dan Whitten, Colin.
Sandy, I can send them out.
Or we can put them in the box. I mean, either way, but...
Yeah,
Sandy, send them to me and I'll send them out.
Okay, I will do that. I'll scan them right now and send them.
Okay, that'll work, and I'll take care of it before I'm on vacation, but I'll take care of it before I leave the office.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
So Ralph, we haven't heard from you.
I'm on board with Colin and Greg. I think this needs further investigation. I'm very much on board with the idea of being frugal. in this difficult time for us budget-wise. In terms of, yeah, I'm very much disturbed by the difference in the two bids and exactly what we're getting, and for each, and I'd like to see both of those before we do anything else. But I think we definitely need to take this under advisement and be very careful with the way we're spending our limited funds at this time.
Sandy,
Would
you may not know.
everyone
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
be under agreement? I'm sorry. Would everyone be under agreement that we're just, in my mind, we're just looking for a weeding of it and turning it into the mulch right now?
Yes.
And
Yeah, I
And
think
who's
I
going
want
to
to.
do
looking at
that?
how-
Who's going to do the weeding and the turning?
Well, I'm looking at Alan's price of $7,900. I'd be willing to entertain a motion of not to exceed of $3,000 or $1,500 or something along those lines to move forward to get that done expeditiously. So it's looking better than it is now, but something like that can be done, on our small purchase policy. Allen's is a local contractor union. They've done a great job for us. So, if Sandy can get that number and it falls within a, $2,500 threshold, I think we can entertain a motion or something along those lines to get it done then? And then in the same time, taking a comprehensive look at all our properties and see if we can develop a plan to tackle it that way.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we can get the planter box solved now. It's just, I'm just looking at these quotes now. Sandy sent them along, and the one for 46,000, I think that is just way beyond what we would even be looking for. They include photos of what it would look like. I think that's way beyond what we would even be looking for up there. Mainly because it's a very trafficked intersection. I mean, it's going to get, we've had 2 cars drive through it already. So I hate to see us invest $46,000 worth of plants and then another car drive through it, and there goes half the plant. So I think I'm on board at this point to just let these be what they are, not take action on them, and see if we can just get the mulch and the weeding done.
This is Lynn. Everybody should have the quotes that are in question. You should have them in your email.
Yeah, I'm looking at them and they look like pretty much perennials.
Yeah.
So they look like something that's put in there that will come back up every year. So unless
That's
it
specifically what we asked for.
doesn't winter over, so.
Right.
So we will need a motion by a member of the commission and a second to to hold off and take them under advisement.
I'll make a motion to take these under advisement, pending legal and department review.
Second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, Lynn, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Lack?
Yes.
Mr. Zilli?
Yes.
Mr. Feckety?
Yes.
Mr. Munt?
Yes.
Mayor Lynch?
Yes. Since that's the sole purpose of this meeting and we have nothing else on the agenda, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Lynn, please call the roll.
Mr. Lack?
Yes.
Mr. Zilli?
Yes.
Mr. Feckety?
Yes.
Mr. Munt?
Yes.
Mayor Lynch?
Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.